let's not have the conversation about whether it's realistic. If it's realistic, it's because Beal desperately wants to come here. And he says, I really only want to go to Boston, make it work, which means you unload every draft pick going into your future. And you probably have to give up Smart Rob, a whole bunch of different things and anything you can to make the deal work. So you're going to empty the cupboard completely and basically have a super team that has 3 players. And then you want to worry about bench depth. You'll have none of it. You'll be G Leaguers the rest of the way. You'll be Sam Hausering it like for legitimate 15 to 20 minutes a game. And some people actually want to see that. But I thought we were past this, Bobby. I thought this year proved the 3 superstar thing isn't a thing. I know people will say, oh, you're bashing Tatum and that's an overreaction to the finals. No, I think that's just an assessment of the type of player he is, the type of player he needs to be for them to kind of get to that next level or, get over the hump. I think the Beal thing is a crazy overreaction. That like get the 3rd star. It's the only way you can win.
Yeah, I think it's a reaction of someone who really doesn't believe in this core and what they did this year, or the players who stepped up, whether it's Grant, whether it's Smart, whether it's some of those guys lower on the roster. If you think they're going to take a step back, it would probably make some sense to consolidate, or Rob's health for that matter. It would make sense to consolidate some of those things and get a star.
But
But
do you
as we
want to?
talked
Yeah.
about, yeah, you don't want to be in a situation like the Lakers were in, where if one of those guys are hurt, your season's over, or Lord forbid, Bradley Beal's health goes down the tube or his game continues to
You
decline like
only
it did
get
last
Beal
year.
if
I
you're
mean,
going to
he really
trade.
struggled.
You only get
He
Beal
really
if you're going to
struggled
trade
last year.
Jalen. And I'm not saying to do that.
Directly,
That's
directly or indirectly, because adding him could lead to Brown's departure down the line if he
yeah.
doesn't feel like a big enough part of this equation here. Now, there's some benefits to possibly getting him too. Like, is Tatum more comfortable as a second option? Would Beal's presence here, even intangibly, make Tatum feel better about being here long term, or more comfortable about just playing his game and not having to carry all the weight of being the face of the team, or making all the right plays or doing everything 100% to a T and dealing with the criticism of it. I think there are some tangible benefits to and intangible benefits to making Beal the centerpiece of this team. I just think it comes at such a huge cost, not only salary wise, but what you lose, especially Rob. Like Rob, I look at as a deal breaker there. I think even with his health concerns, he's too good to pass up for a guy
It's
like Beal.
it is funny. The Rob conversation is so interesting because
And these people who think you're going to get him for White, Tyson, Grant,
forget about it.
no.
No. The Rob conversation is so interesting now because last year before when you're talking about including him, you're still talking about including potential. You've got tangible evidence now for over a year and a half that Rob Williams on the floor makes them immeasurably better on offense and defense in
Even in the
s-
finals,
in
plus 30.
such in such a provable it's you see it with your eyes and you see it with the numbers. The numbers hit the on-off numbers with Rob are off the freaking charts. And I don't love selling out on stuff like that all the time, but his value might be
We see it.
even greater than we're willing to acknowledge. And when you talk about leveling up, there is a world in which he stays the same kind of goofy, dopey guy that doesn't fully get it. Sometimes he has these lapses and he'll never really get his full potential. And maybe he never gets fully in shape. Maybe he's not
Well,
going
how
to be a
about
guy
his
who'll
performance
take
in
his
the
body
finals?
seriously, or and maybe he's a guy who's just not going to get in the lab and get in the gym and work on a turnaround jump shot or a baseline jumper. But if he does any of those things, I don't even want to think about where he could go. At on one leg, out of shape, with almost no polish to his game, he was still a difference
And he
maker in
never
the
bowed
finals.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
he never bowed out, even going through what he went through. He kept pushing. He never missed a game after that game 3 in Miami. It felt like he really took Ime's challenge to heart this year. I thought he, more than anyone, had the most important finals performance on the Celtics. And maybe that's not a high bar because everyone struggled, but it went almost overlooked how great he was in that series, how much of a game breaker he was, and potentially being a guy who could flip that series if he was himself. And now you would hate to go through these next 2, 3 years and have each year the final assessment be, oh, if Rob was healthy, they would have been in position. But when you have him and he's made the
Imagine
improvements
if
and
there
you've
was
invested in him, I
yeah.
don't know how you can throw it away now.